Feed the neighborhood with a tailgate-ready Big Bow Box. It's bow time.
Welcome back to the Breeze TV Sports Spot. I'm your host, Colby Reece. There's been a lot going on in the world of sports, so let's take a look. March is known for the month of madness, that being due to the NCAA Tournament, which tipped off on March 14th. The first round brought many upsets, like 13-seeded Furman beating UVA in a shocking ending. Cavaliers guard Kihei Clark literally threw the ball away in the dying seconds, which led to a JP Pegas 3 to put Furman ahead for good. Take a look at this moment from those calling the game, Kevin Harlan, Stan Van Gundy, and Dan Bonner, whose reaction to the play probably represented how many of us were feeling ourselves.
Four guards out there, along with Cedric, are the best free throw shooter. Clark in a straight checker. He threw it away. In, Pegas. Timeout, Virginia. Did we just see what we think we just saw? Wow.
Despite UVA losing, they certainly didn't suffer the biggest upset of the first round. 2-seeded Arizona fell to Princeton. After beating UCLA in the Pac-12 championship final, the Wildcats looked primed for a deep run. The most shocking result of the opening round was 1-seeded Purdue losing to 16-seeded FDU. Only once before had a 16-seed advanced over a 1-seed in the tournament, which was in 2018 when UMBC took down UVA. The Boilermakers are the only team ever to lose to a 13-seed or higher in 3 straight NCAA tournaments. Into the second round, Arkansas knocked defending champs Kansas out and took away their chances of repeating. Princeton continued their run with a big win over Missouri, showing that 15 seeds can be dangerous, as also seen by St. Peter's run to the Elite Eight last season, which Princeton will try to do tonight against Creighton. Michigan State defeated Marquette, while Miami took care of Indiana. The Sweet 16 started last night with Michigan State and Kansas State needing overtime to decide a winner, with the Wildcats ultimately advancing. UConn beat Arkansas by an impressive 23 points, while FAU continued their inspiring run, taking down Tennessee. Gonzaga and UCLA wrapped up last night's action, with the Bulldogs hitting a late three-pointer to stun the Bruins after they had hit a big 3 to go ahead themselves. This is the second NCAA tournament in 3 years that Gonzaga has beaten UCLA thanks to a late shot. Tonight's games, we will see San Diego State take on the overall top seed Alabama, who I personally chose to win it all in my bracket. Miami will look to upset Houston and continue its impressive run. As mentioned, Princeton faces Creighton, and finally, Xavier faces Texas. The tournament should continue to provide entertainment and unthinkable action, with the teams having their sights set on the championship game on April 3rd. NFL free agency officially began on March 15th, with many teams making moves. The news that has everyone's attention is Aaron Rodgers wanting to join the New York Jets. Rodgers informed the Packers of his decision and also requested players for the Jets to try and sign. The Packers and Jets have yet to reach a trade agreement, with talks reportedly at a standstill, but it looks imminent that the 4-time MVP will be wearing a different shade of green this upcoming season. The Dallas Cowboys have been busy. The team released running back Ezekiel Elliott, who reportedly is eyeing the Eagles, Jets, and Bengals as a new team to call his. The Cowboys also traded for wide receiver Brandon Cooks. Another star running back, likely looking for a new home, is Austin Eckler, who asked the Chargers to seek a trade as he feels, quote, so underpaid by the Chargers. Adam Thielen signed a 3-year deal with Carolina after being released by the Vikings. Darren Waller was traded from the Raiders to the Giants for a 3rd-round pick as the G-Men look to strengthen their receiving core. And Jalen Ramsey was also traded for a 3rd-round pick, making his way from Los Angeles to Miami to play for the Dolphins. Another big-name quarterback who many are watching is Lamar Jackson, whose future is still uncertain, but certainly will be making headlines once he makes his decision on where to play next season. The World Baseball Classic finally took place over the past 2 weeks after being postponed in 2021 due to the pandemic. The United States looked to become back-to-back champions after winning in 2017. However, they wouldn't do that as Japan would put themselves back on the top of the baseball world, winning the tournament for their third time after winning the first two editions of the Classic in 2006 and 2009. The biggest moment of the tournament was also the last moment of the tournament when teammates and superstars Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout went head-to-head, with Ohtani closing the game and Trout at the plate. It was a one-run game in the top of the ninth with 2 outs. The count would run full to add to the excitement. Ohtani would get Trout to swing and miss to secure the title and give viewers a top-tier baseball moment. Fans won't have to wait long for more baseball, with MLB opening day coming up on Thursday. With the NBA play-in tournament beginning April 11th and playoffs starting April 15th, let's take a look at the standings with the last 2 weeks of the season coming up. In the Eastern Conference, the Bucks, Celtics, and Sixers have all clinched playoff spots. The Cavaliers remain in the top 4 in the East, which means home court for the first round. The Knicks sit at the 5 seed. The Heat and Nets are neck and neck for the final guaranteed playoff spot, with both teams hoping to avoid the play-in. The Hawks, Raptors, Bulls, and Pacers remain the top contenders to fill the rest of the play-in tournament seeds. In the Western Conference, the Nuggets still sit at the top as they have for most of the season. The Grizzlies and Kings follow them. The Suns, Clippers, and Warriors make up the 4 to 6 seeds. The current play-in spots are filled by the Timberwolves, Thunder, Mavericks, and Lakers, while the Jazz and Pelicans follow closely behind. However, as it has been all season, it is very tight, with there only being 3 games separating the 12 and 4 seeds, so much is to be fought for as the season wraps up. Similar to the NBA, the NHL playoffs are set to begin soon, with the Stanley Cup playoffs beginning April 17th. Let's see what the playoff picture looks like today. The Boston Bruins are the only team to have clinched a playoff spot so far. They are followed by the Maple Leafs and Lightning in the Atlantic Division. The Metropolitan Division is currently led by the Hurricanes and Devils, filling the 2 seed, and the Rangers slotted in at the 3. In the Eastern Conference, the Islanders and Penguins are the wildcard teams, with the Panthers very closely behind. The Central Division sees the top 3 teams being the Stars, Wild, and defending Stanley Cup champion Avalanche, while the Pacific top seeds are the Golden Knights, Kings, and Oilers. The Kraken, who are looking to make their first playoff appearance in franchise history, hold the top wildcard spot in the West, with the Jets taking the 2nd spot. With everyone still fighting for positioning, there's no doubt the playoffs will bring the excitement it always does, no matter where the teams finish up. The U.S. men's national team returns to the field tonight, continuing their CONCACAF Nations League play against Grenada tonight at 8 p.m. The United States, who won the inaugural tournament in 2021, will also play on Monday at 7:30 p.m. against El Salvador. Both games can be watched on TNT. The team currently holds 4 points in the group, having beat Grenada 5-0 in June of last year and drawing to El Salvador. Christian Pulisic has been announced as the captain for the opening game. The roster includes many of the team's star names, with Matt Turner, Tim Ream, and Weston McKennie all in the squad. Also reuniting with the group is Gio Reyna, who will look to put all of the World Cup drama behind him. Anthony Hudson is still serving as the USA's interim coach as the country sorts out their head coach moving forward. The final of the tournament will take place on June 18th in Las Vegas. That's all for this edition of the Sports Spot. Be sure to watch again next week, where Eric Shellhouse will give you the sports rundown. Thanks for watching. Take care, everyone.